It's the 11th of February 2023 and Amazon have got some great deals on Fire TV sticks and Fire TV cubes. So if you're looking at buying one, upgrading or replacing, now's the time to do it. More details coming up. Don't forget to like this video, share it and subscribe to my channel. Doing these three things help us make more great videos for you. So it's the 11th of February 2023 and it's nearly Valentine's Day. Amazon have this Valentine's Day sale on for Fire TV sticks and Fire TV cubes. And if you're thinking of replacing your Fire Stick or cube or upgrading it or even buying one for the first time, then really now's the time to do it. This is the first sale that we've seen in 2023 here in the UK for Fire Sticks and cubes. We're going to look at what the prices are and what ones you should be considering. Okay, so first of all, we've got the Fire TV Stick Lite, which is usually $29.99, but at the moment it's on a special offer for $24.99. Now, I would say avoid this one. It is the bottom of the range, unless you can't afford anything more. And stick with me because there's some great deals to be had at the moment. This stick is a beginner's stick. It unfortunately does run very sluggish. The storage in it is the same as any other stick, but the memory on it is very low and the processor isn't that great. But I think it's the memory that sort of lets it down. The random access memory, there's only 1 GB in this. That is what causes it to drag quite a bit. So things are going to be not that responsive if you buy this stick. It'll do the job. It basically gives you up to 1080p in picture quality. The sound has HDMI pass-through of Dolby encoded audio, so it doesn't do any of the encoding itself. And the processor is a 1.7 gigahertz with a 650 megahertz GPU, if that means anything to you. And it only has Wi-Fi 5 inside it. So if you've got one of these new super duper routers, then it's not going to take advantage of the great Wi-Fi that you get from a Wi-Fi 6 router. And unfortunately, Fire Sticks aren't renowned for their ability of picking up Wi-Fi. What I've found is where you get a great Wi-Fi reception on some devices, unfortunately, Fire TV sticks haven't got a great reputation for a good pickup on Wi-Fi. I think it's mainly because they're usually shoved behind the back of a TV, so you've actually got the TV screen really that's blocking the signal. So if you can imagine, the TV sort of the Fire Stick is sandwiched between the back of the TV and the wall, so there's not a lot of scope for the Wi-Fi signal to get through there. So really, again, if your Wi-Fi router isn't in the same room as your Fire Stick, then you could find that you don't get a great signal. So let's move on to the Fire TV stick. This is at the moment $29.99, but usually that would be $39.99. And again, just like the Fire TV Stick Lite, there's not much to write home about, to be quite honest with you. You've got TV controls on the remote for this one. It again supports 1080p. It's got Wi-Fi 5, 8 gigabytes of storage, 1 gigabyte of memory, which again isn't great, to be quite honest with you. But the only advantage to the Fire TV stick over the Fire TV Stick Lite is, well, there's two advantages. You've got TV controls on the remote control, and the audio supports Dolby Atmos, but apart from that, it's exactly the same. It's not a very good choice, unfortunately. Now, if money is an issue, then obviously go for one of these, but if you can, I would at least try and stretch to the Fire TV Stick 4K. At the moment, that's reduced from $49.99 to $39.99. And by the way, links to all of these are in the description of this video. So please, if you are considering buying one of these or upgrading to one of these, then please consider using the links in the description below, because it really does help this channel. So going back to the 4K Fire TV stick, so this supports obviously 4K Ultra HD. It also supports Dolby Vision and HDR. It also supports obviously 1080 and 720 as well. It does only have Wi-Fi 5, so again, if your router isn't close by to where you're planning to use the Fire TV stick, then you might want to give this one a miss. It's got 8 gigabytes of storage, just like all the others, but it has got an extra half a gigabyte of memory, which does really seem to make quite a bit of difference. It makes it far more responsive. It's a lot quicker to use. If you've got an older Fire TV stick and you was thinking of upgrading, this is a very cheap way of upgrading the 4K Fire TV stick. Even if you haven't got a 4K TV, that's fine. It just means it's going to be that much faster. I know quite a few people have got second generation Fire TV sticks and they're really, really sluggish. But if you upgrade to the Fire TV stick 4K for $39.99, this is really going to make your life super again. So going on again, it's got Dolby Atmos and it's got the same processor as the other Fire TV sticks that I've just spoken about. That is the quad-core CPU 1.7 gigahertz and the GPU of 650 megahertz. Now, if you can afford to spend out an extra fiver, which really at the moment I think I would personally spend this extra fiver, and I would go for the 4K Max. Now, the 4K Max is usually $54.99. It's down to $44.99, but you've got the extras on there. You've got 2 gigabytes of RAM. You've got Wi-Fi 6. So if you've got a new Wi-Fi router, then this is really going to take advantage of Wi-Fi 6 and hopefully give you the best possible reception for the internet. This is going to hopefully eradicate buffering if you've got a Wi-Fi 6 router. If your router's the other side of the house, then again, this one would be one to get because you stand more of a chance, if you've got a Wi-Fi 6 router, I should say, of getting a great signal to your Fire TV stick. It also supports, obviously, like I say, 4K, 1080p, 720. It supports Dolby Vision, HDR, and it gives you live view picture-in-picture. The storage is exactly the same as all the others, 8 gigabytes, but like I say, you've got that extra 2 gigabytes of RAM there. So from the Fire TV stick Lite and Fire TV stick, that's double the amount of RAM. You've got a half a megabit extra than the Fire TV stick 4K. Again, it supports Dolby Atmos, and the processor is a slightly better processor than all the others. It's a quad-core CPU which runs at 1.8 gigahertz, and also the graphical processing unit is also slightly better. It runs faster at 750 megahertz. So in terms of sticks, it would be a toss-up for me between the Fire TV Stick 4K and the Fire TV Stick 4K Max. If you can afford that extra fiver, go for the 4K Max. Future-proof yourself a bit, because also the Fire TV Stick 4K Max has got a more recent operating system on it. It's got Fire OS 7, where the rest of them, I believe, have got Fire OS 6, which is still supported, but it's obviously going to be discontinued far sooner than Fire OS 7. And now we come to the ultimate. This is a competitor to the NVIDIA Shield, which is basically the best Android box that you can get to date. This is the Fire TV Cube 3rd generation. Now, normally this would be $139.99, but at the moment it's currently down to $119.99. It's got 4K, it supports Dolby Vision, HDR, it gives you live picture-in-picture. It's also got a hands-free built in, so you don't need to push the button on the remote control to talk to it. You just say the keyword, and I can't say it now, otherwise mine will go off. You've got connect and control your devices, so you can basically get it to interact with other devices that are compatible with it. It also supports Wi-Fi 6E, which again is great. That's if your Wi-Fi router isn't anywhere near, or if it is near, or you've got a long enough Ethernet cable, you've got an Ethernet port that's built into it. It is only 10100, but 100 megabits per second is more than adequate for any streaming service out there. I think the maximum that a 4K streaming service currently requires as of February 2023 is a maximum of 35 megabits. So 100 megabits is more than enough. The other bonus with this is you've got double the amount of storage of any other Fire TV device. So you've got 16 gigabytes, which is great. If you like loads of apps, then this is the one for you, because you can obviously fit double the amount of apps on there. The memory is the same as the Fire TV Stick 4K Max. That's 2 gigabytes. So that's double the memory for the Fire TV Stick Lite and Fire TV Stick. Half a gigabyte more than the Fire TV Stick 4K. It also supports Dolby Atmos, and it's got the best processor as well. It's got an octa-core CPU, which is 4 times 2.2 gigahertz and 4 times 2 gigahertz, and the GPU is the one that runs at the fastest, so that's 800 megahertz. So this really is the Fire TV Cube if you can afford to get one. It's currently $119.99 instead of $139.99, so well worthwhile. I've got one. I think it's brilliant. It's so speedy. Obviously, the extra storage is the main thing for me. I can load on loads of apps without being in fear of running out of space. The other Fire TV sticks, okay, you've got 8 gigabytes, which sounds like a lot, but please bear in mind the Amazon Fire OS and the built-in apps that you can't remove already take up about 3.5–4 gigabytes of space. So you're really only left with, at best, just shy of 5 gigabytes when you get a Fire TV stick with 8 gigabytes. Now, with the Fire TV Cube, I think on mine, when I got it out of the box, I had just over 12 gigabytes to play around with. So just over double what I had on my Fire TV stick. So well worth it. Let us know in the comments down below if you're thinking of buying one of these. Like I say, if you can, please use the links in the description below, because it really does help support this channel. And don't forget, whilst you're at my YouTube channel, why not have a look around? Hopefully you'll find something to educate you, entertain you, amuse you, and maybe even save you some time and some more money. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit that like button. If you think your friends, your family or your work colleagues might like it, then please don't forget to share this on your social media timelines. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you find out about all my latest videos the second they're released. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, then hit all. You can also find me on Twitter at CWTech and my website at cwtech.co.uk. Liking, sharing and subscribing really helps support this channel. Thanks for watching.